All right, good afternoon. It is June 18th, 2021, and this is what we're looking at for today. Really a range day with a downward bias, and after this looks like this is Eastern time. I'm on the East Coast, but after 10 a.m. Eastern time, so that's only like a half hour after the open. I really was just like, I don't think I want to go long on any of this. Just because the bias was down. Wasn't strong. You could definitely, there are some longs in here we'll probably talk about, but I just preferred staying short. As you could see, I felt like there were a lot of trades in here. And this was just, the overnight lows were strong resistance all day once we broke through, as you can see. So it was pretty, there were a lot of good entries, good setups around that price level. So just a quick reminder, I am not going to be making any videos next week, so I hope everyone has a good week next week. But let's take a look at these trades. And as you can see, we're selling off after the closing bell now. But so I'm on the East Coast, like I said, so the market opens at 9:30, and this is about 9:30. Wait, this is, oh no, this is 8 a.m. when Mac says he comes in to start trading. So 8 a.m. Eastern time. So this does come, this confirms this steeper channel. And by the way, guys, sorry for all the like, it's a pretty messy chart today. There's just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of price action, a lot of volume. But anyway, yeah, this is 8 a.m. right here, and off of this level, hold on. So I would say these are probably the highs, and that's a first entry, second entry. So that's a third entry. I don't think you can really go here. It does kind of look like a first entry, second entry short, but this is a low. This is broke lower, and it's far from the EMA. So I wouldn't be comfortable taking it, though it does confirm this steeper trend channel. And we do get a first entry, second entry here. Not a great setup though, and it is off the steeper trend channel. But look how far it is from the EMA. I don't think I took that. And then you get a first entry, second entry, and again, it doesn't break higher, so this isn't great. And I don't think you want to go short beneath this because it didn't break higher here. So yeah, this is near the trend channel, but it's far from the EMA. Why did I mark this? This is the true failed second entry long, and that's why I marked that, but I'm going to take that away. I don't know why you would go short there, because the signal bar is no good and it's going into the bottom of the channel. But anyway, we hit these overnight lows, and I'm going to delete that channel, even though that channel is definitely, that's definitely a valid channel. I'm just going to delete it just to make the chart a little neater. We hit the bottom of the channel and we get this move up. Okay, I got trapped here. So I think you should have been looking at this move up, okay? And that's probably why I got trapped. It breaks higher. We get a first entry. Oh wait, is that the second entry? Okay, and that's the second entry. You can see the second entry fails. So we get this engulfing bar. I went short on this third entry, so I guess that's one thing to keep in mind. But also, we just had a break of this upward channel, so we're expecting to move to a new high, and that's exactly what we get. So if you were patient, unlike me, if you were patient and you waited till this, we get that break of this channel and move to a new high and a nice signal bar, I think you can go short there. Yeah, it does end up working. Plus, I was like, we're going to test these lows. So yeah, we did test these lows, which are the overnight lows. Make a move up, two legs up. And this I just marked this because this looks like it could be a second entry short, and it looks like it could be like two measured moves or a measured move. Okay, just shy of a measured move. Far from the EMA. We strong downtrend all morning. It is a second entry, but only problem is it's not off this trend channel, which I drew off of this downtrend overnight. These swing highs in the downtrend. So definitely aggressive. And it's not, this didn't, whoops. Let's see. I guess you could say this is like, I don't know. It just looks like that leg up. There's no break of the channel, but I don't know. We'll see. Well, actually, we won't see because Mac's not making a video today, but I feel like this looked like two measured legs to me, and that's why I was like, you might go short here. Anyway, we started moving back down again. First entry, second entry, no good setup. That signal bar is no good. And this looks like a channel right here. Yeah. Probably draw it like that. That's probably how I'd have it drawn. You get a little overshoot that leads to a break. So that being the case, you get a first entry here. Probably a lot of trap shorts here. They didn't look at the fact that this is an overshoot, and they didn't care that this was just a first entry. So they probably went short there and got trapped, which is what broke the channel. We didn't quite make it to the top of the overnight channel that I drew. First entry, second entry. Dang, I would consider this. I would consider entering here. Because it's close to the channel, you don't quite get there. So you definitely have to look at this as aggressive. What is that? 6 tick bar. You'd have to go short beneath this one. The signal bar is no good. That's the problem here. But here we knew we were ranging at this point. This just looked. Yeah, this is definitely a channel down. I drew that, I think. Prices are hanging out near the overnight lows, so it's hard to say where they're going exactly. But if you're patient, and look, yeah, here we make a higher low here, and then a higher low again, right off the overnight low. So I was thinking, okay, well, it looks like it's going to be a range day. You could go long there if you want, but then you get a perfect short setup. First entry, second entry, and probably all these people who are going long. Here's what I'm thinking, and I mean, you got to take this with a grain of salt, but all the people who are going long, they're probably scalping out and exiting because this is clearly a strong downward move, and the bias is down. Even if it's a range day, the bias is down. So for that reason, and this being off the trend line, I really like this second entry short. And yeah, it's a great move. But anyway, we break that overnight channel, get some congestion here. This is really tempting right here, like a failed second entry long. But again, the bias is down. We just had a break of that trend line, so we're expecting at least 2 legs down to a new low. So what is that? I think that's a failed second entry short. First entry, yeah, failed second entry short. It's off the EMA. And again, this is where I feel like, I don't know if I got trapped here and went long. I'm not too sure. But if you were just patient, again. Oh, yeah, no, I don't think I did go long here. If you were patient, a nice trap setup right here. You see it ticks higher. And let's see how this differs from the trap earlier. Another thing that I forgot to mention about where I got trapped earlier, look at all that overlap, the congestion. So I was going, I think I went short beneath this bar. But yeah, look at that congestion. But then you can say this is congestive too, which is true, but we just had the break of the overnight channel. and we're expecting a move to a new low, and that's a big trap. So I do like that. It's also hitting that price level. It looks kind of like a triple top, first, second, third. Kind of looks like that. That does end up being a good move. I mean, I definitely exited in this congestion because I entered short on this bar. But anyway, we get this pretty steep move down. Is that a first entry? Looks like a failed second entry long here, off the trend line. We get a bounce down here. And yeah, I mean, if you're going long, these are the places to do it. You get a higher low right here. First entry, and you could have looked at this as the failed second entry short, but it didn't break lower, so you can't really enter there. But anyway, we get another break above the overnight highs, or the overnight lows. You get an overshoot of this channel, and this is why I like this entry. Overshoot of this channel, first entry, that's a second entry short right there. But then you get a lower high engulfing bar. It just looks like a great trap, especially with the overshoot. You would think there would be a break, so I like that entry. Might be aggressive, but I like marking it as red. You could also look at it as a pullback off of this price level. And that ends up being a really good move down. And we bounce again down here. So prices are really just ranging, but we have a downward bias. And you get a... So the reason I mark this is because you have a steep move up. Maybe off here. That's a pretty nice leg up, and you get a higher low, and it just looks like, I would think that people probably entered long on this bar right here just because it's 4 ticks. So when you get this and then this, which is a higher low, I'm thinking that some people might have stayed in this trade. So going long above that, there might be some extra long staying in, trying to get that move out of there. So, I don't know, you might go long, but that is going into the highs, so it is aggressive. What is that? First entry, you get a second entry short. This should definitely be marked. That's the second entry short right there. And it looks like it's at the top of, like it's breaking back into congestion. So, I like that. First, I must have walked away at this point, but because I didn't see that, but that's a first entry, second entry. Clearly, that's clearly some important price level right there. And since that is the case, I might mark this one too. I think these are matching highs though, I think. Yeah, those are matching highs when I'm looking at this. But a nice second entry short right here. And you don't get a lower high here with a good signal bar, but we do get this tight channel down. So first entry, second entry, you might even go short here, but I would be concerned because of these dojis over here. But yeah, that's a failed second entry long, and that would have gotten you a nice move. Overshoot leads to a break. We come back to this high, first entry, second entry, awesome trap setup again, yet again, and we get a first entry, failed second entry. Long, a lot of good setups today, and we're not even at 10:30 Eastern time. 14 minutes into this video. Yeah, failed second entry long. This one's a first second entry short. Great trap as well. We hit these lows, bounce, you get a nice move up, and people just getting trapped. Long is getting trapped, thinking that it's probably going to reverse and go to the overnight highs. But we get what is this? First entry, second entry. Look at that, man. That's a great trap. All these traps off of the clear highs. And that's the first break of this channel. Oh yeah, this is the one I think I made a video on. And that's another reason I like this. Look, this is a clear a downward trend, it's like a weak downward trend, I would really consider like a range. You could probably play this both ways. But the bias is clearly down. We get a leg up that breaks this trend down, but it hits that important price level. And you get a second entry short, first entry, second entry short. It's a trap. It's matching highs. You see first time it tries to go higher, comes back down, tries to go higher, doesn't make it. A third time, doesn't make it. That's a great setup. Plenty of room back to the EMA. And you could have gotten a really nice runner off this if you just put your stop. I exited this too earlier than I wish I did. What have you would have gotten if you just put your stop above every bar? What's that entry? I think I entered on this because it broke higher first. So I entered short on this bar. So my entry was at 75. And you could have wrote it to 70. So a 5-point move you would have gotten. And yeah, that was a nice move down. Let's see. First entry, second entry. Yeah, you can definitely go. I'm going to put that as aggressive, but you can definitely go short here. That's off the trend line. Failed second entry long. Looks like some overlap, so I'd be a little concerned about that. A little congestive. But we got a break of that channel. And this turns out to be a channel. You wouldn't have known that at this point, but you can't enter here anyway. That's a first, second entry short, but that's no good signal bar. Look, this is just congestive here. Then we come back. First entry, second entry, signal bar is no good. I think that's probably why I put this blue square there. But it is off the trend channel. And we get a break of that channel. That's a first entry, second entry. This is just congestive here. Okay, so here we get a first entry, second entry, failed second entry long. That's very congestive though. And then you get it's actually also a second entry short. I think I wouldn't enter these just because it's congestive though. And I think that's probably why I put that square there. Here I have an upward trend drawn, and I do think it is accurately drawn. This midline seems to work. And we have first touch here, second touch here, third touch here. I wouldn't go long, and if you did want to go long, it would be here, but that would be kind of a guess. And the reason that would just be a guess is because you would just have this midline drawn probably. So if you're thinking, okay, and by the way, I'm not going short in any of this because it's just congestive. But if you have this midline drawn, you would say, okay, let's drag it down off these lows. It works off these lows, hits right here, and that's a second entry long. Okay, so if you want to do that, if you want to go long at any point, that would probably be it. But here, you get a trap. And I just that's the only reason I marked that. It's just a trap. It's off the overnight lows that have been strong resistance all day. And it's off the EMA. That's another thing. So it's something to think about. But yeah, we get a break. So there's probably trap longs coming in right here. But you don't get a setup. First, it's just the first entry. That's a second entry long, but I don't see how you could enter that. It's near this price level. Maybe people were going long because of that. You get a first entry, second entry off that great price level. It ticked higher than that. I like this entry. And then we get this downward move here. This is kind of congestive here, so I'm not looking at any of that. This looks like a first entry, failed second entry long, but look how far it is from the EMA. But prices keep working down. And here, I just like this simply because it's off the trend line, but it's not a second entry of any sort. So it's definitely aggressive. It also looks low risk. 8 ticks, so yeah. And that's all I saw. I think that's right at 3 o'clock Eastern time, which is when you got to stop. according to Max System. So that's what I saw today. A lot happening today. Sorry, what's going on? A lot going on today. Looks like this sell-off has come to a little bit of a halt. But a lot of trades. I don't know if you guys saw as many as me, but that's what I saw. This is a 20-minute video. This is the longest video I've done in a long time. But I felt good watching these trades come in today. First time I've watched live really in a couple weeks, so felt good. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Again, I won't be here next week, so I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Have a great week next week.